The sky bled red. From a distance, it looked like the heavens themselves mourned. Smoke coiled into the clouds, heavy with ash and fury. Screams echoed faintly. Neighbors, security, reporters. But none of them mattered. Obadele stood barefoot before the gates of the house that had once been his empire. The mansion roared in flames behind him, painting his silhouette in firelight. He didn't flinch, not when the glass shattered, not when the roof collapsed, not even when Zara's portrait in the corridor fell and burned. He struck the final match, tossed it into the pile of her designer gowns. "This is your throne, my queen," he muttered, and just like that, the last piece of her went up in smoke. Once, Obadele Adeyemi's name meant something heavy, something untouchable. From Lagos to Accra, from Abuja to Dubai, his business empire dominated. Real estate, oil, fintech, even fashion. He had charm, he had discipline, he had wealth beyond counting. And yet, in his grand mansion in Lekki Phase 1, he moved with the loneliness of a man who had everything, except peace. Then she came. Zara, a woman carved by the gods with fire and mischief, a socialite, a slay queen, younger, bolder. She had no business sharing space with him, but she did. She laughed at his routines. She stirred his tea with honey and rebellion. She danced in his suits and whispered wild dreams into his ears. He fell, hard. And when he married her, the tabloids exploded. Billionaire marries controversial beauty. People called him foolish. But Obadele didn't care. He saw something in her the world didn't. Or so he thought. It began with fatigue, then the trembling hands, dizziness, blackouts. Zara was always there, holding his hand, rubbing his back, smiling like an angel in satin. "You work too hard, love," she whispered. "Let me handle things for a while." At first he resisted. He was a lion, not a cub. But his body said otherwise. When he passed out during a board meeting, she brought in a doctor. Not just any doctor. A sleek, smooth-talking man from Paris who diagnosed him with nervous collapse. Stress, the doctor said. He must rest, or he will die. Zara cried, publicly, dramatically. The media lapped it up. She started managing his affairs, his company, his foundation, his life. He trusted her. He drank every cup of tea she gave him, every herbal blend, every smile she served, until one night he found her phone buzzing beside him while she was in the shower. "Yusuf, he'll be out soon. We'll be free." Obadele froze. Time stopped. He stared at the screen until her voice called from the bathroom, light and careless. "Baby, can you pass me a towel?" He passed her the towel with a smile, but inside something had shattered. He confronted her the next day. She laughed. "You're being paranoid," she said. "That message wasn't for me." Still, she upped the dosage. Soon, he collapsed. Was admitted to a private clinic in Victoria Island. The clinic was more prison than hospital. Visitors restricted, nurses hostile. CCTV in every corner. Zara declared him mentally incompetent. She held press conferences, cried into the cameras, told the world her husband was losing his mind. "You know what hurts most?" she asked reporters. "That he doesn't trust me, after all we've built." She wore his watches, slept in his bed, sold his cars, threw lavish parties with Yusuf by her side, all while Obadele rotted in silence, until one night a face from the past came to him. Musa, his ex-head of security, dressed in scrubs. "We don't have time, sir," he whispered. "They'll kill you in here." Together they escaped. But the world didn't recognize him anymore. He was just a madman in rags. The streets of Ajegunle were unforgiving. Noise, dirt, life in raw form. Obadele slept in gutters, begged for water, avoided gangs, but it was under a broken canopy, beside a tired puff-puff stand. that his story shifted again. Her name was Amara. "Are you lost or just ugly?" she asked, arms folded. He blinked. "Both, probably." She offered him puff-puff. Let him sleep behind her kiosk. Asked nothing in return. He told her nothing about his past, just that he was sick and alone. She didn't care. "You don't owe me truth," she said, "but you can help me sell." Days passed. He worked. He healed. He laughed again. One night she found him crying behind the stand. "Someone you love died?" she asked. He looked at her. "Yes, but I'm still breathing." She didn't ask more. But from then on, she sat closer when he was quiet. It began with small steps. He redesigned her stall, taught her branding, built a small website on a borrowed laptop. A customer posted a TikTok video. Former billionaire now frying puff-puff. The clip went viral. People came in droves. Among them was Ife, an old associate. "You're alive?" Ife whispered. "Barely," Obadele said, "but I'm waking up." With Ife's help, he traced back legal documents Zara had forged, discovered back channels, secret accounts, betrayals layered like a wedding cake. And then he struck, quietly, strategically, one board member at a time, until he controlled enough shares to demand an emergency shareholder meeting. And in that room, with cameras flashing, Obadele Adeyemi walked in, not in a suit, but in truth. Zara choked on her champagne. You're alive?" Obadele said. "More than you ever were." He presented everything, signed confessions, poison tests, financial theft, manipulation. The room turned on her. Zara's lawyer excused himself. Yusuf was nowhere to be found. She was arrested, screaming, kicking. "Obadele, you owe me. I made you." He looked at her like a stranger. "You made me sick, but not dead." He turned his back on her as the police dragged her away. Outside, the press swarmed. He didn't give interviews. He returned to the mansion once more. It felt foreign, cold, haunted by perfume and lies. He walked through the halls, saw her framed photos, her fake smile. He packed nothing. Instead, he doused the wardrobes, the silk curtains, the velvet sheets, and struck the final match. It wasn't revenge. It was release. Amara stood beside him in a modest dress. He knelt in the dust, offered her a simple ring. "Not a castle," he said, "but peace." She smiled. "Peace is all I want." They married at the puff-puff stand. Children danced. Neighbors cheered. He reopened his company, not to dominate, but to uplift. He launched a shelter for men betrayed by love and power. He toured schools, warning youth, love is trust, but trust must be earned, not bought. The lion roared again, not from ivory towers, but from the streets that rebuilt him. His crown was no longer gold, it was fire-tested. Was Amara his healing, or just another lesson? Can love survive deep betrayal? Let's talk in the comments. Subscribe for more untold African stories. Raw, real, unforgettable.